From King Kong to Planet of the Apes and many other cinematic and literary works, gorillas have always been a fascinating subject for writers and filmmakers. One of the strongest animals on Earth, and contrary to popular belief, it is the true holder of the title King of the Jungle, a title it rightfully deserves, not because it surpasses other animals in strength, but because of the way it rules its group and asserts its dominance over them. Before we begin, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest videos. The gorilla is the largest primate and the biggest member of the great ape family, which includes animals like chimpanzees, bonobos, and orangutans. On a genetic level, the gorilla is the second closest animal to humans, right after chimpanzees and bonobos. It shares approximately 94.8% of its DNA with humans. Except for the African continent and its tropical and subtropical forests, there is no place on Earth where gorillas live in the wild. Gorillas are divided into two main species, the eastern gorilla and the western gorilla. Each species is further divided into two groups, one that inhabits lowland areas and another that lives in high-altitude regions. There aren't significant differences between gorilla species, except that those living in higher elevations tend to have darker black fur, longer hair, and a slightly heavier build. Meanwhile, lowland gorillas of the western species have grayish fur with a reddish tint on the top of their heads. In general, gorillas weigh between 70 kilograms and 220 kilograms and range in height from 1.2 meters to 1.8 meters. Among all types, the eastern mountain gorilla holds the record for the largest size in both weight and height. In all species, males are larger than females. As for their social lives, the most remarkable trait of gorillas is the highly developed and stable structure of their groups. They exhibit strong social bonds, with each member understanding their place within the hierarchy. Additionally, a single dominant male serves as the leader, holding absolute authority over the group. All gorillas live in family groups, typically consisting of 6 to 10 members. These groups are usually made up of a dominant male, his offspring, and several females, most of whom are his mates. If you ever hear the term silverback while watching anything related to gorillas, know that it refers to the adult male gorilla, who is usually the dominant leader of the group. The name comes from the silver-gray hair that appears on his back as he ages. This is one of the reasons why gorillas are often called the kings of the jungle. Beyond their massive size and imposing appearance, the way they manage their groups truly makes them resemble powerful yet wise kings. The silverback's primary responsibility is protecting his group, as well as organizing their daily activities, such as when to travel, eat, rest, or sleep. He also has the final say on whether new individuals, male or female, can join the group. It's common for gorillas to leave their birth groups in search of a mate, and when that happens, it's up to the silverback to accept or reject them. Interestingly, most newcomers aim to form a bond with the dominant silverback, as he is seen as the best potential mate. Another key duty of the silverback is defining the group's territory, which can range from 5 to 30 square kilometers, depending on the group's size and the availability of food. This territory is not necessarily exclusive. Different groups may have overlapping ranges, which can sometimes lead to confrontations, especially if an adult male from one group encroaches on another's territory. The size and leadership of a group are not always fixed. Some groups can grow beyond 10 members, reaching 30 or even 50 individuals. In such cases, leadership is often shared among multiple silverbacks, usually brothers or a father and his sons. However, even in these situations, there is typically one silverback who holds the highest authority over the rest. A strong silverback can maintain his leadership for many years, sometimes up to 6 years or more. However, if a younger male senses that the dominant silverback is becoming weaker, losing size, moving slower, or making poor decisions, he may challenge him for leadership. If the challenger wins, he often eliminates the offspring of the previous silverback, including any orphans he had taken under his protection. Despite his dominance and, at times, strict leadership, the silverback has a completely different attitude towards the young. He allows them to play around him, or even with him, and it's not uncommon to see them climbing on him, poking at him, or playfully bothering him, just like any mischievous children. One of the heartwarming aspects of gorilla life is that a silverback may adopt orphaned young and integrate them into the group. While some members of the group can live comfortably, the silverback remains constantly alert, always watching over his family. He usually leads the group while traveling, ensuring the path is safe. Even during resting periods after a meal, he often stands up to scan the surroundings and make sure the group is secure. Although gorillas are skilled climbers, they spend most of their time on the ground, especially the adults. However, the young ones spend much more time in the trees, whether playing or even sleeping. Communication among gorillas, both within and outside the group, relies on a combination of sounds and touch. If a new gorilla extends a hand toward a group member, it's essentially an invitation for social interaction. One of the key signs of respect toward a silverback is avoiding direct eye contact, as staring into his eyes can sometimes be seen as a challenge. A major sign of bonding among gorillas is grooming, removing insects and dirt from each other's fur. While chest beating is a show of strength among adult males, for younger gorillas, it's simply a playful gesture. Gorillas have long, powerful arms, about 15% longer than their legs. This unique design allows them to move on all fours without bending their bodies awkwardly. Just as humans have unique fingerprints, gorillas have distinct nose prints that differentiate them from one another. Scientists estimate that a gorilla's strength is about 6 times greater than that of a human. They also possess one of the most powerful bite forces in the animal kingdom, measuring around 5,780 newtons, stronger than that of a lion, tiger, or even a bear. Despite all these impressive traits, gorillas are far from being predators. Their diet consists mainly of plants and fruits. They consume a variety of buds, roots, leaves, fruits, tree bark, and bamboo stems. Researchers believe their powerful bite helps them chew through this tough vegetation. In addition to plants and fruits, gorillas may also eat insects, and they can spend up to 6 hours a day just eating. An adult male consumes an average of 18 kilograms of food daily. It's extremely rare to see a gorilla drinking water, as they get almost all their hydration from their diet. For gorillas, rest time after a meal is almost sacred. They lie down on the ground or take naps, while the young ones continue playing around them. This period strengthens social bonds, as researchers have observed that gorillas choose close companions from within their group and tend to rest near them. Despite the general calmness within a gorilla group, one thing that is far from peaceful is a male's courtship of a female. For a male gorilla, courtship is all about displaying strength. He will jump around, break branches, and pound the ground as if he were entering a wrestling ring. There is no specific mating season, and when a female conceives, she carries her baby for 8.5 to 9 months before giving birth, usually to a single infant. The baby clings to its mother's back as both a form of protection and transportation until it reaches around 3 years old. Young gorillas reach maturity between the ages of 7 and 10, but at this stage they do not yet develop the distinctive silver hair of a silverback. Instead, they are called blackbacks. The grayish-silver hair starts appearing on their backs between the ages of 12 and 15. At this point, some males leave their groups in search of a mate to establish a new group. Others may attempt to join an existing group and steal a female, even if the dominant male opposes their presence. However, some choose to stay within their original group, waiting for the right opportunity to take their father's place once he ages or passes away. In the wild, gorillas can live up to 40 years, though the mid-30s is the most common lifespan. Unfortunately, all types of gorillas have suffered greatly due to human destruction of their natural habitats and political instability in most of the countries where they are found. Besides losing their homes, they are also hunted, either for sale to zoos, scientific research, or even as bushmeat. One of the greatest threats to their survival is their vulnerability to human diseases. Even a simple cold can be fatal to a gorilla. These combined factors have pushed them toward endangerment, particularly the eastern mountain gorillas. However, thanks to conservation efforts, their numbers have increased in recent years, from fewer than 500 individuals to around 1,100 today. While this number is still relatively low, researchers see it as a promising sign of the species' slow recovery in the wild. Gorillas continue to serve as a powerful example that true leadership is not just about dominance and authority, but about responsibility, care, and protection for those under one's watch. And that's a wrap. Who made it this far? If you did, you're the real MVP. Don't forget to drop a like before you leave so we know how many made it to the end. And if you have any episode suggestions, let us know in the comments. See you.